Hi everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Tokpe Mark Odige, and with me as usual are the co-hosts. Welcome to the show. Excellent. Can we specially welcome MM to the show? MM songs.
Please, MM song is
MM Chuku. Everybody has a name for MM, but today officially it's MM Ime Ukoche. Okwoche. Let me pronounce it well. So we've had our husband many times on the show. That's Michael Koche. And then you've been our producer for you were our producer for 2.5 years, and then now you've moved on to Wake Up, and now you're on our show as a co-host. Yay!
I am so excited to be with
many
you,
seasons.
beautiful ladies.
Good to see you too.
It feels good to be on the set, actually. Never been on the set before, on and off, but it feels really good. So
it's also like just like the in-house best friend and everything. I find her to be like the hottest pregnant woman I've ever seen.
So
she carries
officially to everybody.
I'm sure your Wake Up fans, her Wake Up fans know
that
about her.
Yeah,
so she carries her pregnancy so well and so beautifully, high on her waist. I say it because I know how I look when I'm pregnant.
Look like elephants for real. Trust me, you guys are boiling.
It's such a pleasure actually to be with you guys.
Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
Obiajulu. So I'm always confused that Obiajulu BC. I'm always saying both of them, but even
has
people that are
multiple names.
I'm telling you, people that are watching, I always say,
is it Obiajulu?
Is it BC?
Anyone you call me, my darling, I will take it.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. So yesterday after the show, I got a call to appear for an audition casting, so to speak, for a job.
Ooh.
So I got there, I spent time. By the time I got home, I was tired. I had like 4 coaching sessions that I had planned to have that evening. Back to back. I did not immediately. I dropped my bag. I had to, because I'd promised them, and the clients were already buzzing. Where are you, ma? When are we starting the session and all of that? I couldn't disappoint them. In the tiredness, I was coaching. I said, I really love this. If not, I would have said, sorry guys, I'll see you tomorrow.
It's more like
but
a superwoman.
Because of the love I have for what I'm doing, I was able to go through the 3 sessions.
I'm like, they say multiple streams of income. Women wear multiple hats, but like literally, you go from being A to B to C to D, and all because you're trying to, in most cases, just live your best life and maximize the potentials you have. So BC can act, she can sing, she can coach. So why should she now stop one? Because, you know,
no
it's
way.
not easy though, but His grace is sufficient for you. Mariam.
Yeah, today is World Kidney Day. World Kidney Day. So it's just to give us time to reflect on a lot of Nigerians who are suffering this, and also to be aware of the signs, you know, that happen, that we get when your kidney may be in trouble. So I think we should just take time out to make sure that we take care of ourselves. I think they talk about people who take alcohol a lot, you know, who take different kinds of medications. All those things can be very harmful.
Talking about medications, there's a direct link between having high blood pressure with having kidney issues. It is predisposing like almost over 50%. I don't have the figures, but it's close to like 70%. If you have high blood pressure and you're medicating the high blood pressure, you're likely 70% to have kidney issues, because the drugs have this effect. Next to that is diabetes. So diabetes, high blood pressure, these things are preventable.
So the high blood pressure, how can you prevent it? Sometimes it's genetic.
No, but you
but
can
you know what? Some of the hints they say of chronic kidney disease, according to the article in the paper, it says first there's nausea, then there's vomiting, loss of appetite, fatigue, weakness, sleep problems, and high blood pressure. So if you have some of these issues
and you're not pregnant, because some of those things are signs of pregnancy.
Just go to the hospital, you know, and do a proper.
And most importantly, if you're already diabetic or you have high blood pressure, always check on your kidney, because if you use those drugs and you're not checking, you're like, those drugs give people.
But something must kill a man, really.
No, well, we take our health for granted actually in this part of the country.
But something must kill
we
a man.
actually, okay, so I'm having a headache. You take a paracetamol, or you're having, you know. So we need to pay attention to our health. So I don't take it for granted though. If I'm like
something must still kill a man.
Yeah, but then as much as possible, try to live long. We have a news mention 2 days ago. We brought to you the story of the little girl Hannah, who was unjustly defiled by her landlord's son. Our correspondents caught up with the alleged perpetrator. However, we cannot bring you the details. We just want you to know that we are on this case, and we're going to follow up. We're going to continue. The case is in court, so we can't deliberate about it on the show, but we want you to know that something is happening on it, and we're following up.
Thank God it's been caught.
Yes, Abby.
Well,
when we return, me? Oh, yeah, me. Oh, yeah, I have a gist, actually.
Please,
so it rains today, and I checked my...
The rain again today.
Oh, no, you don't understand. Before going for my exercise in the morning, I checked my weather, and I saw that there was 40% chance, and I prayed, Father, this 40% chance, let it rain it in my area. Because sometimes you see 40% chance, and they'll say it rained it somewhere else. Oh, God, I walked in the rain. I was singing, I was dancing, I was worshiping, as in, I was not even running this time.
So God answered your prayer.
Oh, gosh, it's a wonderful, this day cannot get any, it is already a wonderful day.
What can I say? The benefits of natural hair.
Now, what in the rain? When we return, we look through today's hot topics, things trending in the newspaper. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So, newspaper review starts with The Punch. Major headline, Buhari, Ambode mourns as collapsed building in Lagos kills pupils, others. Someone says, a victim's father said, I thought it was a bomb explosion. In other news, INEC lacks power to withhold my certificate of return. That's from Okorocha. Family, Ondo NSCDC disagree over suspect's death in custody. Gunmen murder pregnant cop, DPO, 2 others in Edo State. And reps lamenting conclusive polls. Senate vows to probe INEC. 2019 UTME begins April 11, says JAMB. And in other news, APC attacks Clark Adebajo Nwodo. So the picture story you can see is going to be our hot topic for today. We're discussing it extensively, so we won't take it during the paper so that people don't assume that we're just glossing over it. But human interest story.
So we have a couple there. I'll be taking one. I think Miriam has the other one. So this particular one, a man named Razak was arrested in Ondo State on Sunday for defiling his daughter. And he was put in the NSCDC custody. So according to the wife, said she went there to, bail and see him, and then found the NSCDC officials violating, torturing him. They were hitting him, beating him up, and everything. And even when she pleaded that they should leave him alone, that she still loves him, they beat her as well. So, but the man died on Tuesday. Now, the NSCDC has come out to say that the man actually committed suicide and that he wasn't tortured. But the prayer for me now is I hope they captured him before, because they've taken him down. Exactly. So if they have that capture, that suicide, according to their story, that he had to tear his shirt and used it. If they had captured it, then they will have. But you saying, according to the wife, you tortured my husband, I saw you beating him, and he died.
That's not enough.
Yeah, so it's really not enough.
For me, I know that this issue of defilement and incest and all of that is very painful, and we tend to want to vent on such people. But when you are in the law enforcement, when you've already reported to the police, I think that we should expect that it will be safe there. So let's wait for the investigation.
The law take its course.
Can they do...
Police brutality affects the proper evidence of the case. When you get to court, all these sort of things are some of the things that we throw out. And this happened in case, even in the place where the police is on the side of the victim. Like this safe handout thing we're talking about, with how it's alleged that the police violated the child. We need to pay attention to this police brutality, and police should put that aside. So the second story in this, the Punch, is some gunmen, heavily armed men, attacked this police station in Afuze in Owan West in Benin, Edo State. And there's nobody can give the reason why they did it. They killed 3 police officers, a DPO, an inspector, a pregnant sergeant, and a corporal. And then when they left that place, they went to the INEC office. Then they released all the suspects in the cells. Then they went to the INEC office and set a police van ablaze and destroyed electoral...
They detonated IUD.
And then, destroyed electoral materials. no one can say this is the reason why they did it. Is it drugs? Is it revenge? But they say that particular area is known for all sorts of crime and criminal activities.
But you see, we can assume that it's linked to the elections because, one, they released all the prisoners, and some of them might be election offense arrested people, and also they went to INEC office.
Yes,
but what I'm worried about is this is the second time we're having a dynamite or IUD, like a bomb explosion.
Where are they getting it from?
Yes, we're having it in the south. We had it in was it in the Akwa Ibom? There was there was one in Edo State. These things used to be strictly for like terrorists or those kind of attacks, but now we're having exactly.
But remember, we read stories of how customs had, apprehended, trailer loads of all these sorts of ammunition and military uniforms as well. So
you wanted to take the INEC story?
Officials can jump on it. Yes, INEC story. Richard Okorocha, yes, has asked that he's saying that INEC cannot withhold his certificate of return. Remember at the presidential elections, one of the returning officers allegedly said that he was made to announce Okorocha as the winner under duress. And under that, allegation alone, we don't know if it's false, we don't know if it's true.
So that's what Okorocha is saying.
So that is what INEC is holding on to. But Okorocha is saying he's not a violent person.
Okay, so
yes, but I remember the story. He was held for many hours.
Yes,
the only way he said he could make sure he left that vicinity was to announce.
So Okorocha is saying that since you have announced me, you must give me certificate. You cannot hold it. You can now you can go to court and say that this is what happened. But for now, you have announced I am the winner.
You cannot hold it and INEC and say that they should announce that.
Well, INEC will clarify that one, so we wait for that clarification. Moving on to Daily Sun, major headline. Lagos sad day. 12 school kids killed in building collapse, leaving residents in sorrow, tears. Ambode orders probe, building harbored school, shops, others. Buhari mourns. Ethiopian airline crash. Federal government bans Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes. Aircraft won't be allowed into Nigeria's airspace. Don't try yourself. Senate presidency. APC senators zero in on Lawan. Southeast still interested in the post. Agony in Anambra as 27 die in auto crash. Auto crashes, was it multiple auto crash?
No. It was just a tanker that a kerosene tanker who lost control and then, left his lane, got into the other lane and cleared all the people. You have a lot of roadside sellers, people who had their shops, people who were going about their business, cleared everybody, and they had about 21 of them
dead.
As at yesterday, saying 27 actually.
No, in the story it's 21.
Yes, so there were different reports as to the numbers, but as at yesterday it was 21. And it's really sad. I mean, this is the second incident. Big failure. We've had a couple of these incidents here in Lagos.
The drivers lost their lives as well.
Well, it really doesn't matter.
Beyond the driver, sometimes, these people say that they report to the owners of the car. They can't fix the truck by themselves. It costs a lot of money to fix it. But we see these trucks that are looking like death trap on the roads. And nobody is stopping them. They are disaster waiting to happen. And sadly, we'll not lose 24 lives.
Should there be like a truck station that before you leave, there are people that will check it?
Yeah, but I'm sure some organizations, some companies have them.
You just suggested a very important, a very usable procedure to checkmate these things. But somebody has a story on Senate and Lawan. Oh,
yes. So Ahmed Lawan is being, looked at as the possible Senate president for the next dispensation. So he's a long-serving senator. He was he's been a lawmaker since 1999. He was the one that was actually the preferred choice before Bukola Saraki strategized and became the Senate president. But also, I think the Southeast is interested because of, I think there's zoning, but APC is saying that they haven't discussed this yet and they're yet to decide.
All right, moving on to the Vanguard. Major headline, rowdy session in Senate over elections. Senators differ over plans to probe militarization of polls as House moves to probe inconclusive elections by INEC, says development portends danger to democracy. In other news, 2019 UTME begins April 11, says JAM, fixes mock exam for April 1. That's April 4, right? 9 die, scores injured
April 1 or April 11? Check that date.
No, the exam is on April 11.
Okay.
The mock exam is April 1st. Okay. Minimum wage. Senate committee concur with reps. Approve 30,000 naira to pass the bill Tuesday. Senate decries Nigeria's high debt profile. 20 feared killed in Onitsha tanker accident. And federal government bans the use of Boeing 737 MAX 8-9 planes in Nigeria.
The minimum wage?
The minimum wage, yes.
So the Senate ad hoc committee met yesterday and with the House of Representatives, and they agreed on the 30,000 minimum wage. They also agreed on punishments for workers who do not stay in office. You know, they identified that some workers actually do not stay except when it's time to pay salary. There's a fine of 75,000 naira for any worker that is caught who doesn't stay in office. And they are going to be submitting the report to plenary on Tuesday.
Okay, so the rowdy session in the Senate. So they resumed session on on Tuesday, and our very popular Kogi West PDP senatorial senator, stood up and introduced himself again as a senator-elect. Apparently, he's excited about winning the election.
Yes,
but he's a senator, so you can't be a senator-elect when you're already a senator already. But good thing, I'm sure his people should be happy for him if they voted for him, and he's representing them well because he's speaking up concerning the inconclusive polls, spoke concerning the militarization, said that INEC would not and should not allow, that the Senate should not allow this just go like that, that it should investigate why is INEC, why were some areas, specifically River State, heavily militarized, and then nobody is talking about it like it's a big deal. It is. This threw the entire floor into a rowdy session. Everybody was now speaking at the same time, trying to get a quorum to say that let's
probe INEC.
Probe INEC. But they were able to go ahead with it because the president was able to get 1/5 of the people to agree. And so we're going to see something go on within Senate concerning INEC. And even the House of Rep also wants to probe INEC concerning inconclusive of
INEC will finish.
Isn't that
everybody's probing INEC.
A lot of times we say that these people don't discuss things that are important to us. So we're happy that this is very important to everyone.
And I pray they follow through.
Yes, yes. So the federal government has banned Boeing 737 MAX. That's good now because people were clamoring for the president to ban it. People were saying that at least do something, say something aside from just commiserating those that have lost their lives.
And FP says we just ordered it. It takes a long time to get anyway, so we do not have them.
Yeah, so FP is supposed to get it by 2021.
Yes.
If they pay for it, they should refund
the part I like about the presidential's the press release was that even flying within our airspace, we don't want to mistakenly crash and kill Nigerians.
We don't want.
So that's what all the other countries are saying as well. So.
Moving on to Nigerian Tribune, major headline: Lagos building collapse. 22 pupils, others feared dead. 40 hospitalized, many trapped. Really sad story. In other news, police arrest Oyo Assembly Chief Whip over Sugar's death. Nigeria bans Boeing 737 MAX planes. ICPC to seize 264 million naira properties from 3 civil servants. And inconclusive polls, protest rock INEC headquarters, youth, women take to the streets in Bauchi. So, we're
going to take that sugar story.
The sugar story,
yes.
Mariam.
Oh my world, oh my world. Okay, so the Oyo State Police Command has arrested the chief whip of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Wasiu Olafisoye Akimoyede, in connection with the gruesome killing of Sugar, which happened last week at the polls. And, well, there are speculations that there were issues between the both of them. So investigations are still ongoing right now.
Okay.
We don't know why he was arrested, but right now he's in
police
custody.
Motive is
Yes.
Okay.
So ICPC season.
Yes, 3 people who worked with the Niger Delta affairs have properties worth 264 million.
3 people.
3 people.
Civil servants.
I'm telling you,
From
Niger
where?
Delta affairs.
We already know where that's
exactly. You know where all the money is going to. Yeah. So the government is going to seize all of those properties. They had several pieces of land in Abuja in different choice places. Houses coming to as much as 70-something million, and they are going to check, make an investigation into how they got the monies to acquire such properties based on their salaries as civil servants. So,
you know,
I think this is a
aside
good one.
from government not putting money where they need to, a lot of times monies are allocated to solve the immediate needs of Nigerians, and some people, evil people, human beings, Nigerians like us, hold on to the money and keep it for themselves, as opposed to Commonwealth of everybody.
Yes, and you know that Niger Delta has been a major where they say they don't have, if you go to Ogoni, there's no clean water, nothing, and then people siphon the money meant for citizens. It's unfair, really.
Sad.
All right, that's all we can take on front page review for today. Next, we look into the building collapse that happened on the island yesterday, Lagos Island to be precise. Please stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So yesterday, news broke about a building collapse in Itafaji area of Lagos, which immediately disrupted activities. This building housed a school, and unfortunately, over 100 children were part of this wreck. This is a really sad story, and we'd like to hear your thoughts on what happened. To join the conversation, you can call us on 070-8066-8014, or you tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can hear from you. Yesterday, there were videos. It was really sad. So this building, according to the papers, had shops, a school, and residential area in one building. Did you hear about the story? I'm asking you, BC, did you hear about the story yesterday, or you got the information today?
Yesterday was yesterday.
So what was your first reaction?
I felt terrible. It was a pathetic story in the sense that some of these things that we see now is something that could have been avoided. It was on social media, somebody who could not even afford to pay school fees for over a week. The kids were home for over a week, found money finally, took the kids to school just yesterday, and 3 of them died. As a parent, I felt terrible. And I said, imagine if it was in my place that this happened. Who are we going to hold responsible for putting people's lives in danger? And that house has been marked for demolition 3 times. Who was the officer in charge who went there, collected bribe, and did nothing?
Well, we don't know whether he collected bribe or not.
We marked for demolition 3 times. We understand how these people work. They come in, you give them something, and then they go. So it was an allegation, it was painful. It was really, really painful to see a lot of people losing kids. A particular woman whose sister's children, twins, were inside.
So for me, it was really heartbreaking. I heard about it yesterday as well. And my prayer, and I'm still hopeful, that the emergency agencies that are involved, fire service, the response was almost immediate, I hear. So I thank God for that. It reminds me of the story in Thailand where a team of young boys got trapped in a cave, and it took days and days, and they had rescuers from different countries coming. And I'm praying, I'm asking the world, please, if you can help in this situation. We still have children trapped in that rubble. Yes. We have parents and relatives screaming and crying. I believe that there's some of them that are still there, and they're alive. If we can help them, the US, wherever the people we normally call, please just help us and come rescue
actually, I want us, we'll discuss extensively on the rescue effort and how we could do it better, but I just wanted us to first get what was our reaction to the story.
Really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine it. You know, you send your child to school, I have children that go to school every morning.
Day.
And I hope that at the end of the day, they
get
come
home
back
safe.
You're not even thinking about it. You expect that I'll go and pick them up, not that you hear a phone call that the building collapsed.
What's really sad is there was a boy whose birthday was yesterday. And I mean, I couldn't sleep last night because I kept on praying. And the truth of the matter is, as much as some people might think that what's God going to do in all of this, there's always a place of prayer when it comes to things like this. You can't write that off completely. It's really sad that this happened. I'm really hoping that things do not get worse than it already is. So far, about an hour ago, according to Punch, 50 people have been rescued.
Okay.
Alive. And there's a cry for help for blood donations. So I'm really hoping people can get on it. Nigerians are wonderful people. So in times like this, you'd expect that people will come together and help. And people have been showing immense support, which is amazing.
And I'm honestly, really I got teary-eyed about it, so and I noticed you're crying.
Yeah, so
we have a call, Kunle from Agbadoja. Welcome to the show. Good morning. It's really so, like, it's really, there's no way to be, it's sad. Good morning.
Yeah, please, I saw the incident yesterday, TV, and it was quite pathetic, you know. I think the minister in charge of the assistance of the building to try and work on it so that this agency will not be bribed whenever they have responsibilities to be carried out. And secondly, we just want to urge the governor of Lagos State to ensure that the welfare of the LRU hospital is looked into. We can't expect people who have not been paid to be saving lives. I think somebody's listening out there, please.
Okay, so Kule is saying the LRU officials is the Lagos rescue unit, and that they should be properly taken care of. I didn't get it. Maybe it was saying the word. He was inferring that they've not been paid or well taken care of, but they were very, very on time. Yeah. So there are two sides I want to take on this story. I want us to start first with how was the rescue effort? What could we have done better? What was the response rate? And then when we're done with that, we'll talk about what are the ways to prevent this? What can be done? How can we properly deal with this situation? Probably, what are the penalties that we would put that would make people feel like, no, I don't want to have to pay this fine or something. But let's start with the response. I saw the videos, and honestly, I was crying. There was just no. I was literally crying. I couldn't imagine. Hey. I just didn't want to imagine it, but it was a painful thing. But aside from that, I saw a lot of noise and crowd. And the response unit people complained that it was difficult to get through. Yeah. Now, if you know Lagos Island, Itafaji, the roads are tiny, shops,
one way.
People virtually sell on the roads and hawk in the middle. So we already had that difficulty in accessing this location. But we now had like a crowd of people watching, recording. Now, I acknowledge the fact that they were the first responders. They actually started trying to rescue people. But what can we learn from this? How can we deal with this better? What could have been done?
So, you know, like when you see all of those movies, when there's something happens like that and they need to, there's a barricade that they put up to, you know, push people away. I know that we have not developed to that level, but it doesn't cost anything to have a barricade as part of your purview when you come to a place to rescue. So you put up that barricade, you know, people are not supposed to cross that so that you can have access to rescue the people. And Nigerians as well should learn, in as much as you're pained and in grief, should give them time to do the work. You're not a fire service person, you're not a rescuer. If you're there, you are going to block you are going to, you know, make it impossible for them to do the work as fast as you want them to do it. So learn to step back and just wait. Basically.
So I'll quickly take Yakub's phone call. Good morning, Yakub. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Mama DG. And then good morning to the rest of the co-hosts in the studio.
Morning, sir.
First and foremost, I think my sympathy goes to the family of the people that lost their children and then their relatives in that incident. But I will say that, you see, I call to blame the government, particularly the government of Lagos State. This very particular building marked maybe 2-3 years ago. And then the people that is responsible to bring down this building, they went there and then they collect bribe. As one of your co-hosts said earlier, you cannot rule out the corruption in this kind of a thing. Sure. You mark the house, and then the government needs to pay attention how this house that we are already marked coming down, put down by the government, because you cannot expect the landlord or the landlady of the house to pull it down by how he said. Now, the second one is this. You know, the government needs to pay more attention to education. Particularly, you imagine the school in the building, The house is also residential. A lot of people, a lot of activities is going in only the same building. So if the government pay attention to education, they can be able to give all those children. They will never attend such school. The school that they attended, there is no fee for them to even do exercising. What kind of a school is that?
Thank you so much. That's a very, very valid point. The school shouldn't have been in that building in the first place. So, but we'll continue the conversation after this break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So Mariam was going to...
Yes, so from the stories we read, the GM of Lasema, additional Tiamir, has said that, you know, they were there. I remember we were there last year, Jumoke and I do know that Lasema has a few equipment that they can use for excavation and things like that, and I'm sure that they applied, they used those equipment because they said that they had to also drill a hole in order to get them. So they are on it, and they had oxygen for those that were rescued. So we see that.
I saw pictures of that as well.
Yes, and it was so good to see the LRU agents with their reflective vest on, you know, saving this children. But another thing which BC mentioned is the attitude of Nigerians as well. I think we need to understand that sometimes we're more helpful when we stay away than we're right on top of it and refusing, you know, blocking access to the victims and also trying to get these victims out of that area. So Nigerians, I think Nigerians, we do not understand that. We feel that we need to be standing on top of everything as it happens.
So we have a call. Alexander just called in. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know, I was trying to smile like I'm supposed to smile at you, but this is a really, really heavy story. So please go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, it's a real sad one, and condolences to the families and loved ones who lost people, and also to Nigeria at large. But like, I just want to chip in a few things. The truth of the matter is that we've been able to identify that most of these issues are prevented. But the truth of the matter is that we only respond to these issues only when it has happened.
Reactive.
And just a few days after something else takes our directions also. The truth of the matter, again, is that the government is not on top of its game. It's like the call and the cries that we've all been shouting, you know, with the tankers and the heavy trucks of the
Yes.
That is another one awaiting to happen. When it does happen, we're going to have more casualties than what we're seeing at the moment, because this is a breed that, you know, is told by, you know, thousands of pedestrians and cars passing through. We've had situations where even I personally had to call a team of experts, along with I myself, to volunteer to the Lagos State government in saying we're ready to offer our own services for free, you know, to help out, because this is our state, this is our home. We feel that it is only in giving back to the society that we can make it a better place.
Exactly.
But I mean, the people at the top never get to hear, you know. So it is another lesson, but how do we handle it from here? Let's not just talk about it and just let it go. We need to bring the people who actually let this happen to book.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Alexander, because that, like you said, tomorrow now we'll move on to something else, but we can prevent it. The trucks on the road is preventable now. Let's not wait until one fire outbreak happens before we move on. You were going to say?
Yes, I was going, you mentioned a few things, Miriam, which I'd like to speak. Okay, so the truth is, you can't, in that kind of situation, what would you do?
They're crying. They're grieving.
What would you do? Okay, yes, you're standing where you are. Your child is in the rubble. Is crying going to get your child out of there? You're in panic mode. So as much as I agree with you, emotions come into play. And when you're emotional, there's nothing you can do, especially when you're in that situation where, you know, you feel that there are not enough hands, you know, to help these children. And then you're like, you feel that there's something you can do, but
you feel like diving in.
Yes, but there's really nothing you can do.
As a mother,
yes, I agree with you. We should allow the rescue team do their job. And I like the fact that a lot of people are also jumped on it. I read that there were area boys who were around, who, you know, were also helping, you know, to save some of these children, which was that's why earlier on I said Nigerians are amazing people. Everybody got on it like, you know, their lives depended on it. one issue that I would like to raise, which I wasn't comfortable with, I wasn't happy about, was this issue. This incident happened at 10 a.m. And the governor of Lagos State, Governor Ambode, got there at 2:52 p.m.
How did you know?
According to Punch. We're all following up on these stories online, on the papers, everywhere. And this is just a report that came in at an hour ago.
Yeah, but he could have had an engagement.
I agree. But you know why everyone is emotional right now? Because children are involved.
I understand that.
And this is not the first incident happening in the last 2-3 years in Lagos Island. So
But,
it's
well,
more like
the governor came in a bit late. Maybe he was engaged, but the deputy governor was there before the governor got in there. And the Lagos State government has pledged to pay, to cover all the hospital bills. So, really, we'll talk more about that later. So let's just take this phone call from Badigeshin. Calling from Ojo. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is not the best of times for Lagosians and Nigeria as a whole. But this is one accident too many. Because in the past, remember the synagogue issue, the one in Lekki, and we can go on and on to see count so many of these that happened. But unfortunately, where do we go from here? These are young people that they have buried their future under the rubble. And some of those adults who even work in that place. And it's not looking good for us. But then the authorities must ensure that, this doesn't happen again. And everybody who has contributed to this debacle must go down as well. Questions must be had. Investigations must be carried out. And at the same time, we must find a way to stop all this kind of unnecessary death. That's my contribution.
Thank you, Badigeshin, because he's taking us to...
Sorry, Tope, I really quickly need to add. During Governor Ambode's speech yesterday, he mentioned that many of these buildings have been put up for demolition.
Yes, smart.
But the owners do not want to leave. If your building has been put up for demolition, leave.
Find a way.
Leave.
That place.
Juice office put up for demolition, not because the building was wrong. And then they did not give them, they told them that they should leave, and they went there and destroyed properties.
But these buildings are old.
But these buildings are old.
If any building is meant to be demolished,
30 years old.
You don't get it. Don't wait for them to move out. You know that you don't want to, you want to prevent loss of lives. You go in there because when businesses were not moving out, you chase them out. Please.
Yes, it gets to that point where you have to chase them out.
Is talking about punitive measures. Can we talk about punitive measures? Who is going to get punished for these things?
Exactly. Okay, so you know what, Tope? It's like getting a quit notice. Your landlord doesn't come to you and say, I want you out right now. He gives you a 6 month notice, a 1 year.
Months,
exactly. He gives you time to move out.
3 years old.
So if you've been given a time of notice to leave a certain property that is not fit to be lived, you have enough time to make plans. But we Nigerians take a lot of things for granted, so let's not even
listen to our government in the first place.
Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello. Esther.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, please.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, well done, lady. Let me first start by saying, for every death of any child in that incident, their souls will cry. And for somebody that allowed that incident, whether by omission or by commission, multiple incidents will visit their family. You see, the government has taken people too much for granted. That house has been marked 3 years ago. Who's supposed to supervise the demolition?
Exactly.
And if you notice in the last 3 years, every day, every year you will record one incident, especially on that island. And house must go down, a property must go down, and nobody has done anything. You understand? To even take charge of all the island and see which building is not good and should be marked for immediate demolition. We want to be like white people, but our brain and our body is always moving far away from development. Why are we like this? Why do we allow innocent children that could not decide their fate to be caught in this kind of situation? Why? Why is what we should be asking?
I feel your sentiment.
So I've seen governments take over. I think Nigerians, yes, we can blame the government, we can blame the landlord, we can blame, but we need to start taking responsibility.
We have to.
We see these buildings, we see that government has earmarked them for demolition, and then we take our children and we put them in those places. It's our fault as well. It's your. I'm sorry. I mean, this is a sad occurrence, but
we
as
all
a
have
parent,
a part to play.
Some people, the neighbors know that this particular building that's just right beside mine has been marked for demolition. And the reasons were put there. That building has always had foundation issues. And they have just newly built a penthouse on top of that so that it can have more residents and more rent. And we are, yes, so we're aware that these things could lead to something like this, and we still put our children there, we still go to work there, we still open shops there. After a while, you can blame whoever you want to blame, but in the end,
part of the problem.
You made that decision knowing clearly that this thing is dangerous and it could lead to something like this. And that is why when Alexander called, I live in that Alexander called concerning the trucks. I live in that area, and sometimes I pass there with my kids on that bridge. And you know, tomorrow, God forbid anything happens. What have I done, Miriam? What have I done as a person, as a parent?
Move away from the area.
Make sure that those places, those trucks are not on the
I understand
from the area.
I understand that there are two sides to the story, but the government is responsible for its citizens.
Exactly.
And a responsible government should take responsibility of what needs to be done. So we are waiting investigation, we are waiting penalties prosecution, and we are waiting penalties carried out on both staff of the Lagos State's ministries that are supposed to carry oversight duties, and even the landlord of that building. So when we return, we'll take a quick break now. We're moving on to another story. A pilot makes a U-turn on air as a mother says she forgot her baby. Like, I don't understand. At the airport terminal. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Another story caught our eyes, on social media as a Saudi Arabia pilot was compelled to make a U-turn after the mother suddenly remembered that she forgot her baby at the airport terminal. As strange as this might sound, there was a mixture of different emotions and reaction. Even me, I was wondering, which kind of mother is that?
I don't understand.
So please, join the conversation by giving us a call on 070-8066-8014 or tweet to us at TVC Connect, #YourView. We need to take tweets though.
Yeah,
we need
sure.
to take tweets. So my first question was that, have you ever forgotten your child?
I've not done anything that you may be ashamed of right now.
I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anyone right now, but I've never forgotten my children.
What was your first reaction when you read it?
I was like, okay. I reacted, then I said, BC, you're a life coach now. You're not supposed to judge. So assess the situation.
Oh, yeah?
And then I started asking questions like, how many kids does she have? Did she have so many of them that she was able to miss one and not remember? No, hold on now. I'm trying to be a life coach here. Did she have so many? Was she under pressure? Was she stressed? What was she going through? What was happening? How emotionally stable was she at the time? Then when I finished the life coach thing, I dropped it. Then as an African mother, how can you forget your child? What's the meaning of that? It sounded so strange because I know that if I'm going out, I know how many we are. Okay, I remember now my son got lost in Dubai Mall. That was in 2017, massive mall. So we're just looking at those animals, the tortoise and the crocodiles, and I just looked and I just tapped my husband. Where's Kamdi? Where's Kamdi? Kamdi. Okay, calm down. You go that way. These two. Okay, somebody hold me like I knew how he felt. And then we found him. He sat in one place and he was crying. I turned around, I did not see you, mommy. I was just praying that God should bring you. So how can I go to that kind of place and then we've left, we are going, and Kamdi is not beside us. So it sounded strange to me, but anything can happen, really.
Jesus was forgotten for 3 days.
Oh. Yes.
3 days. The one that was Immaculate Conception.
It happens. Like me, I keep saying that I am a warrior. Like nothing like that will pass me. Yesterday, I picked up my daughter and I had to go to Lekki with her immediately. So my husband had to pick up my son. And then while we were in traffic, he called me like, oh, how are you? And your son, did you pick him? Eh? I almost flew out of the car. Even though we had planned that he was going to pick him up, I just could not. I was screaming, how can you forget him? You know? He was like, oh, please calm down. And they know me, I'm just that sort of person. If I say to you, go and pick up my child at 3:15 and you get there at 3:16, I'm mad. Wow. Because you have to, with those children, that is how I am. And I've thought about it. I can't remember any time that I've forgotten my children. There was a time just when I had my baby and we had just come back into Lagos at the airport. And one older man was, was so taken by the fact that, oh, you just have a new baby. Okay, go and take your luggage and I'll hold your child. I said, thank you, sir. Can you take the luggage? No, I took my baby and I went for my luggage myself. Thank you very much. I'm just, I can't. I don't ever remember forget children. I can't.
No way.
So we're all mothers, so yeah.
Yeah, so yes, I'm a new mother. Yeah, but I don't. What? How?
But if you're maybe she's a new mom and she's used to traveling alone, so she just
and that's even the more reason. Okay, you know what?
She just walked away and forgot that I came with a baggage.
So because I never knew how paranoid I could be till I had a child.
Your baby, yeah.
Yes. So I am very intentional with her in every way. Even well, Hanani is. I'm like. Okay, so hello. How is Elsie? Is she fine? Is she good? Is she okay?
Put her on the phone out.
And then okay. So there's something that happened. I've been wanting to have an alone time because it's advisable to, as a new mom, take some time off. But I can't. I can't imagine myself alone without
the baby.
Her. Sorry. Hey, even there are times when my husband and I have had weekend vacations. I carry her. My husband's like, don't you think you should? I'm like, don't even suggest it.
So I'm a different style of mother.
Okay.
I'm not in that category of, when I first had my kids, I felt that I felt like I did not, maybe the hormone of mothering skipped me sort of, because I never raised any child as like I was only lonely. So I didn't have to nurture any younger one. So and then my mom and my mother-in-law were around. I had twins. They were sleeping with my mom. I was sleeping alone. Like I didn't really understand that concept of you must carry the bababy.
And labor was easy, right?
And labor was easy. So I didn't. So maybe
that's why.
Maybe. So I can understand how maybe you're chilling at the airport.
You've never gone to watch to make sure the chest is going up and down.
I take it for granted.
I do that sometimes.
Take children and say that they were not sleeping. We arrange them. I say, I'm really feeling arranging them. They will scatter themselves again. So I'm not in that space of you must mother. But how would the family react to it? How can you tell your husband, sweetheart,
I forgot my child at the airport.
Our baby at the airport? As in, how do you say
Just
this
go to your father's house from there. Honestly, but that's it. We have tweets here. Akinwumi King says, probably that woman adopted the child. I am not sure she's the biological mother of the kid. No matter what she could be going through, that shouldn't warrant her forgetting a whole baby.
Wow. Damilola just called in from Egbeda. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a very interesting topic. But what I would just say is that what happened to that woman is actually possible. And how is it like? When you leave all the total responsibilities of your kids to the maid of the house, it's possible. Probably she wanted to travel there yesterday and she feels, wow, the baby is with the maid at home. So she was busy talking all around. And by the time she wanted to leave the airport, she forgot the baby was actually with her. And she left without the baby.
Hey.
So this is just a lesson for everybody. Don't leave all the responsibilities of the house to the maid of the house. Because this is
that's a good angle.
Thank you very much.
That's a good angle. But how can you forget a baby?
Like you took the baby
that I say that I'm not a like that's overworrying mom. I cannot forget my baby.
What do you call it?
When I'm in the house.
Helicopter was
when I'm in the house and suddenly my son gets quiet. My son especially gets quiet.
It's a problem. Looking.
Where's Kamji? That's the first thing. Because when he gets quiet, he's orchestrating something somewhere. So I can't even imagine going out and he's not there bugging me and I just fly and all of that. But we need to understand, she's not even an African woman. The cultures are different. No, our cultures are. It's possible. Our cultures are different. The way we handle. We were having an argument with babies lying close to their mummies on the other day with Yenny, Auntie YK, and Auntie Yenny YK confuses me. And then she said, somebody said, the kids must sleep with them. And I said, in America or abroad, wherever it is, the children, they don't sleep with their parents. It's their culture. So we don't know the culture of this Arab woman.
Nobody forgets their baby.
No, forget it. We don't know the culture.
We have a call.
Mother is universal.
We have a call. Nasamo calling all the way from Kwara. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Let me start by consoling the families of people that lost their kids in the yesterday incident in Lagos. But sincerely speaking, some parents don't care much about their children. These people go to that place and drop their kids off. They know the condition of that place, and they see the building like that, and they keep returning their children there. I don't think we should put all the blame on government. These parents too have to share part of the blame. There are better public schools with good classroom, but you see some people taking their children to uncompleted buildings as nursery and primary schools with dropout secondary school teachers. The public schools are better than most of these places we call nursery and primary school. But the mentality is that all of us want our children to go to nursery and primary school without any good infrastructure, without any qualified teachers. I think some of us as a parent too, we should bear the burden sometimes, or the blame sometimes. We should be responsible. We can't labor to have these children and go and waste their life in an uncompleted building. It's shameful. This cannot happen in the same society. And on the issue of forgetting the kids, I was fortunate to be in Utako Park in Abuja one time. A young lady forgot the kids after the bus has moved. The bus has moved. Before she remembered, oh, I left my kids at the park. People are like, are you mad? Because the bus has come back to go and pick the baby and the bag.
Wow.
So imagine how some people are so careless. This is on social media. The moment they go to the park, the lady, they are chatting on WhatsApp, on Twitter, they are on Telegram, they are on this. Before you know, on Instagram, they are posting pictures, they are carried away, they forgot the kids. So it happens from time to time. You see some of them in the market, they won't even know which shop they left the kids. How will you leave your baby or a boy with a stranger that you don't know, that you want to go and buy some other thing, and you just drop a boy or a girl in one shop? So we should blame. The parents have a lot of responsibility too. If you cannot take care of these kids, don't let us have them. It's not just about catching the phone and having the baby free, so that the country can be better.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for calling. We'll take a quick break now. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Yes, thanks for staying with us. So, honestly, we'll take a few tweets, but we've been getting different reactions from people on this. We just wanted to sample your opinion, and I think that overall we would agree that whether you are a very, very clingy mom, whether you are not so clingy, we must become very observant. We shouldn't just get this. There are a lot of things that can distract us now. Social media, depression, Snapchat. Whatever it is, you have given birth to a child. You are responsible to that child. You have responsibilities that you must acknowledge, and you must put that as priority. So let's take a few tweets.
Okay, so let me take Charles Brown says, there's every possibility that woman is going through a lot emotionally, perhaps. Let's not overlook that aspect, because anything can happen to anyone. We're all humans.
And he says, I cannot forget my baby. Wait till it happens. You don't know if she was going through an emotionally traumatic situation, or if she had psychological or even psychiatric problems. Bade Gessin says, how can anyone forget her baby? It is unthinkable. It is unimaginable. Is she the mother of the baby? Not everyone is a mom anyway.
All right, I have G. Sean 11 here saying that it's possible because it has happened to him before. He was at the airport so tired and he forgot, he's talking about forgetting the passport, really, wow.
Oh God,
a baby
compared to a baby.
About your passport.
A living being.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay.
for those thinking she might have depression, any mother out there should take care of herself, you know, take care of your mental state and then avoid distractions. Then there was another story, you know. This one, it was Twitter. You know, these Twitter people.
I don't like them. They're so savage.
I live for Twitter.
I live
for Twitter.
So this story went viral on Twitter a few days ago about a lady went on Twitter and tweeted that after she finished interviewing a man, the man complimented her and said that she smells nice.
Hi.
And she gave it to him like that was rude. And you shouldn't have complimented. And then there was an ensuing back and forth that, was it right to compliment? Is it right to compliment someone you went to interview? Or is it rude to do that? It's been back and forth. So they said there are two questions that Nigerians or a lot of people ask that are not necessary. One,
how was your night?
How was your night?
I hate that question.
And maybe like you smell nice, kind of. You know, so what's your opinion when you saw that tweet? Let me start with Mariam.
Okay. So for me, I do think that I find that most Nigerians don't understand boundaries. And I feel that when you go for an interview, that there's a proper way to present yourself and that there are things that it's a formal situation. I do not think, first of all, I don't even have the liver. You go for an interview and then in your mind, you should be thinking about what it is that has brought you there.
She was
to make the
fine.
best impression intellectually.
Thank you,
based
Miriam.
on the information, what it is that you're talking about, not about smelling nice. I
She
know
was
a lot of
smelling
people.
nice.
I know a lot of people might say it might be trying to break the ice. Bros, you did wrong. And then the second thing is, for me, my response may not be like hers. I may not go, and I think she did him a favor by telling him his roots. So she's taught him a lesson for the future.
Yeah.
I may not say anything, but I'm likely to just pen this person down for being too forward. That is me. Yeah.
Would you like me to say something? Okay, we take things so seriously in this part of the world. Come on. We have gone past the interview phase. Can we chill a little? I like the way you smell.
Am I your
From
friend?
a man to
Like,
woman.
yes, please. I smell nice for a reason, so that you can compliment me.
Is that why you smell nice?
Yes.
No. My nose was...
Apart from the fact that I like to smell nice,
Yeah.
I like people to always acknowledge. I love when people pass by and say, "Oh wow, I love your fragrance. I love what you're wearing."
In an interview.
Like I said, we've gone past the interview phase, so let's let our
Is
head
the
loose.
interview over? It's not over until you've gotten
Yeah,
the job.
Like I said,
The interview is not over until you've gotten the
we
job.
take things too seriously. What is wrong with someone giving you a compliment?
Okay. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. The first
right.
question you ask yourself is, what am I going there to do? What's my intention? Am I going there to get a job, or I'm going there to fraternize? Now, we have some interviews that are friendly in nature. I remember when I was being interviewed to work as a teacher, and I walked in and the environment was, they received me, were cracking jokes. They didn't even ask me anything serious. And then I just got in, and the first question, after I've prepared, I've read, I'm ready, I must get this job after NYC. Now we need to make money and everything. I just got in and said, okay, what extra thing can you offer us? I knew I had the job already. I was confident. And then we all laughed and played, and I left the interview. Even at that, it wasn't right for me to have told somebody, you smell nice.
Oh, you have a pretty smile.
No. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because you don't know people's boundaries. You don't know what ticks them off. Everybody is different. People react to situations differently. So the person might naturally be a very rude person on a normal day, but she's just there to do the job, and then you come with that. It sees you as being flirty. Do you understand?
Thank you for taking us there.
Sees you as being flirty, and is even a guy.
Because you see, a lot of times...
Are you here for a job or you want to do another thing?
This issue of boundaries and all of that, there's sometimes that there's a time for everything. And there's a way you can say something that you are saying A, but you mean B. I love your dress.
Oh, now you're emphasizing. Okay. Now you're emphasizing. You say, I love your dress.
Yes, and they act like a snake.
You know, so, but I have, that's a compliment, but you know that it's loaded. If a man is telling you,
it's beyond.
Loaded.
It's loaded. You smell nice. Do you know that the smell of people turns people on. It's flirty.
Yes.
If you're sexualizing me, you are. It's the truth. So
I don't think it's that serious.
Exactly.
I don't think it's that serious. I just think that, like the question, how was your night? I think because Nigerians, maybe we have to first interpret English into our own local language.
Okay.
So maybe what you would say in your local language sounds respectful, but then when you say it English, it doesn't come across that way. So I think that may be one of our problems. But also, we need to understand boundaries, and we need to maybe have those sort of classes where we tell people this and this is what you may say during, in a formal situation, and this is what you should do in an informal situation.
Okay, so
but you must agree that there are ethics and.
I agree that there are, boundaries. Oh, talking about boundaries, I don't think anyone here, emphasizes on boundaries
as
like
I do.
Oh, I do. When it comes to yes. Okay. But what if she said something like, "Oh, okay, thank you," and then a conversation broke out? And imagine if she was single.
Oh, what are you looking for?
I don't understand.
So, see, come on, you meet people from anywhere. You can meet anybody anywhere.
But you're making the point.
People come into your life for different reasons.
I know,
And sometimes it could just be, you could just misinterpret everything because you are too caught up in your comfort zone, in your share. Oh no, I have boundaries. Oh no, why would you compliment me? Oh yeah, I smell good. Yes, I know I smell good. I don't need you to tell me. Come on, relax
a little. He could have kept his compliment till he gets the job. Then when you start working, you can now compliment as much as you want. There's employer-employee relationship. You guys are not friends, for crying out loud.
At the end of the day, there's also etiquette of how you relate with people.
Yes,
when you meet someone for the first time, and we educate ourselves as Nigerians, but we don't educate ourselves well in terms of manners. And as we grow older, we're losing manners in upbringing of our children.
I really don't think you should go into manners. I think manners is taking it a bit too much. It's taking it a bit too further because it doesn't. So complimenting you in an interview doesn't mean you do not have manners.
Yeah, you don't have.
I really do not think so.
No, but even that type of compliment,
because
you
at the
smell
end of the day,
nice.
The person interviewing you would have a feeling that if I employ this guy,
he will flirt with me.
He might not just flirting with me. I might already have sexual harassment on my hands.
Yeah, so
because I work in TVC, and literally, you see the way some men look at women, especially when they're like voluptuous and they have all those curves. They are literally using their eyes to undress the girl, and I don't think it is wrong. That's what I'm saying. It's about man, and they feel like I'm admiring her now. Shouldn't she be happy that I'm admiring her? Did she not dress up so that I can admire her? No. I'm a girl. I did not dress up so that a man can admire me. Don't look at me and undress me with your eyes and think that it is polite.
Thank you.
It isn't. Yeah, so we must have those. Teach our children, teach our men, teach our women, teach
focus on your
manners.
Focus on your focus.
So, let's get this. There's nothing wrong with giving compliments or receiving compliments. Here, we're just talking about the situation in which he found himself.
Yes.
Do you know what would even be cooler? If after he gets the job and they go for lunch, he's like, you know that time we were interviewing? You smell really nice. I like that fragrance.
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Do you know the respect?
Wow.
Daniel calling. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You all are looking good.
Thank you.
That's a compliment.
I don't think there's any problem. Seriously. There's no problem with it. In fact, I got my job that way. I told her she's looking good, and she told me, thank you.
Uncle.
And to be honest, I got the job.
Oh my
word. Uncle.
No, I think it was much more than
serious.
that.
Let me tell you
that's not why you got the job.
No, you got the job because you were good at what you do.
You were good at what you do.
Or you are good at what you do.
Or you're good at what you do.
Okay,
You're looking good. And the next thing she told me, thank you. And the following day, I got my job.
Because you were good.
That lady is very rude. To be honest, for her to say something like that, I think she's the one who's there. There's nothing wrong in that, to be honest.
Daniel.
Thank you very much.
The person interviewing is rude.
No. I think we shouldn't just, you know, people react differently. So let's not peg. That's her limit.
Yeah, that's
you don't know what she's even going through on that day. You don't know how.
It's not even about that.
No,
There's a societal way of treating one another.
Yes, it's even possible.
Yes.
It's even possible she was under pressure. It's even possible a lot of things were going through her mind. So I just want to get through this interview and go. And then somebody's telling me, oh God, that's not why you're here. Do you understand? So let's focus on our focus, know the job. You know, in some clients, like, I don't think it will be people who mind in the US.
No, they're the
ones that even accuse him of.
Yes, now you have to be
inappropriate behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Esther, you calling again, or this is a new Esther? Welcome to the show. Good morning. Okay, this is another Esther. We have Esther today. So, welcome to the show. Good morning.
My first time calling.
Welcome.
To be on air with you guys. The last caller, Daniel, complimented you all, and you accepted his compliment.
This is not an interview.
Appropriate. I think sometimes there's a problem with we women when we're interviewing a man. There's this superiority complex. Turn the table around. What if it was a man who complimented the lady you smell well? What would she have said?
In the interview.
I support him. Let's be less harsh in the way we react. The name is Etta, E-T-A.
Oh, Etta. Thank you, Etta. Thanks for your contribution. So, somebody is supporting you.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, because, I mean, come on. Let's okay.
She switched gender.
If they had complimented your husband,
okay, you've met my husband before.
Yes, I've met
you know, he's my love, my dear, my
sugar,
sweetheart, my honey. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
You get that? So I'm like, and because people know that. Why won't you take the? Of course, you take the job now. You're bringing money to the table. You'll not take the job. Please go ahead and take the job. But, see, the truth is, you being nice to someone doesn't mean you do not know where to draw the line when it gets to that point.
Some people don't know.
That is where. That's why it's a two-way thingy. So if someone is encroaching on your space, there are polite ways to say, darling, you're encroaching on my space. I love my space. Yeah. I really would like, some, level of, let's define what it is that we're doing. We're in the workspace. It's fine. It was just a harmless compliment. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Oh, yes, I was going to give you an example. Yeah, last year. Okay, no, 2 years ago, actually. I was in an interview session. I was the interviewer, basically. And, this guy, there was a list of people that come in and they were presenting their stuff. Yeah, presentations and stuff. And there was this guy that really got my attention, and he came in, he had the charisma, he was tall, he was good looking, and then he came in with a smile.
The smile melted.
That alone got my attention. Another one came in looking as if, he just came back from fighting Iraq. I'm like...
Let's take this call. I'll come back to you, Mariam. Tony calling from Okwoba.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. We're getting ladies calling on the show today.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. I really so much enjoy your show all the time.
Thank you.
Concerning the topic right now, I would want to say that the guy has no problem complimenting the lady. Really, as in, it shows his level of confidence.
Really? Okay.
I want to be on the side of them this morning.
Okay.
It shows his level of confidence. I mean, for him to come after the whole interview and to say, madam, you smelling nice. I think it's a compliment. And I know most of us ladies, we love compliments. And it's a plus for him. It shows his level of confidence and that he knows what he's doing. And so for Miriam and Obiajuno, I don't think that's flirtatious at all. Please.
That's my boundary.
Things too serious in this part of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in UK or
I don't think we're serious enough in this part of the world.
I'm telling you, compared to what they're going through there.
Just your compliment. Good morning.
Thank you, darling.
So, this your darling, this your dear, all these things, these are inappropriate behavior. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll talk about appropriate behavior. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right. the crisis within the studio between the break, you don't want to understand. So, yes, my dear. Yes, my darling. Are we too serious, or we just don't understand the place of boundaries?
We just don't
understand boundaries.
But you know the thing I want to... Everybody says we're too serious here in Nigeria. Abroad, they're not serious like we are. But actually, I mean, if you guys really pay attention, it's the other way around. I think in Nigeria, we take a lot of things for granted and just let a lot of things just pass. One of the things that started this Me Too movement, especially I think in the corporate setting, there was this woman who had brought this man, reported this man for complimenting her. I think it was her shape. No, he said her color, she was dark chocolate or something like that, her boss. That is in America.
The tone of the chocolate.
It cost him his job. I know a lot of Nigerians will be like, oh, but, you know, like you said, she's voluptuous. I'm complimenting her, and then we'll just let it pass. But in America, they will not even take it. You will lose your job and lose all your earnings that you
But Miriam, you know you can't compare your voluptuous to you smell nice. They're two different things.
Everything.
It's the same thing. From somewhere. Compliments. Ola Josephola says it's not a bad thing to compliment a woman or man. Nothing bad in a man appreciating the beauty of a woman, but lusting after it is what it is wrong. Andrew says, sorry, I disagree with your last caller. If you say you are smelling nice, you might be opening yourself to sexual harassment, especially if you are an employer. So say nothing. Jeremy here says, I agree with Daniel Hector that the callers, the interviewer was rude. There's a way you take compliment and end it right there.
Agbiton Babatunde here says she should have just used Motin insecticide.
Ew.
What? She should have just used insecticide so she can smell otherwise. Inferiority complex and rude acts is a problem. That lady on yellow is the boy. Thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. And he says I should ask Miriam, why do you look nice?
Okay, it's appropriate.
Why do you look nice?
So I think at the end of the day, there should be boundaries in relating with other people.
Thank you.
And especially when you're going for interviews, let's not just gloss over it.
Yes,
you were there for a job. Focus
on your focus.
What you're there to achieve. Compliments can come when you're employed or something. And besides, every man should go and learn about how to be a gentleman, how to treat etiquettes. It's important. Let's learn to learn manners. Don't just be playing and joking with everybody.
But you know,
not
it also
everybody
starts
wants to
from
joke
us
with you.
as mothers.
Yeah,
but you can watch a repeat of this show by 11 p.m. tonight. It was fun. We touched on many things. Hope you enjoyed the show as we did. Have a fabulous day. See you tomorrow.
Bye.